Hi guys, the Frugal Gal here with another cooking video. You guys wanted me to come back in the comments. You left a lot of comments about do some more cooking videos, so I'm getting ready to make my dinner for tonight. And what we're going to make tonight is a low-carb, diabetic-friendly recipe. And it is going to be zoodles with meat sauce. Now, if you don't know what zoodles are zucchini. You take zucchini and you use a special tool to cut them and make them into what appears to be noodles or pasta or spaghetti. Because in a low-carb diet, you do not want to be eating a lot of pasta. That will raise your blood sugar if you're diabetic, and it will raise your blood sugar anyway, even if you're not diabetic, and it's not low-carb. So, what you're going to need is you're going to need some zucchini. I got the zucchini. We have a vegetable stand about 3 miles from our house, so I went there Friday and got a couple of zucchini. You're going to need 1 to 2 zucchinis, depending on how much you're going to make. You can adjust this recipe for how many people you're going to feed. Of course, it's just me, so it's going to be a little different. You're going to need hamburger. I've got 3/4 of a pound of hamburger here because I want a really meaty sauce just for me. I like a lot of meat. Now, I buy grass-fed, no antibiotics hamburger. I buy it at Aldi. It's a little over $4 a pound, which I know is expensive, but for one person, I usually only eat 1/4 of it at a time. So I do this because I've noticed other hamburger from the store, it really bothered my gallbladder before I had my gallbladder out, and it still bothers me after my gallbladder's been out. So this is grass-fed beef, and no antibiotics or hormones has been used for the beef. So because of that, this is very dry. Very little fat in it. So what I'm going to be doing, first, like I told you in the last video, I've already cracked my window because I do live in a travel trailer. You don't have to do that unless you live in a travel trailer. So we're going to light our stove here. Don't worry, we won't blow up. So we got that lit. Let's turn that flame down a little bit. So why I'm telling you about the kind of beef I use is because I'm going to be using grapeseed oil again and just use a dab of it, because this is going to be very dry beef and I want it to be a little juicier. Put that on there. Get out my thing back here. Okay. The other ingredients you're going to need is some onions. I am using green onions. I buy green onions at Aldi's because they're cheaper. They're usually about 79 cents for a package, and I just cut off the white bulbs, save the green part for my salads that I eat. And what I have here is about 6 of those chopped up, finely chopped up, as fine as you want to. We're going to put that in our skillet, because I always like putting the onions in and getting them a little bit sauteed before I put the hamburger in there. So we'll wait for that to start, kind of move it around to get that grapeseed oil, it all covered with that. I'm going to go back here and sorry about my arm, I'm going to go back here and get my spatula out. It's always good to use to get everything off of your turner. Okay, we are going to put our beef in now. I'm just going to dump it in there like that so I don't have to touch it. Get this all chopped up. We're not going to season the beef because we're going to season the meat sauce. Whoops, I just flipped out a thing. Oh well, this is not a professional cooking show, so we will not be editing. Now, like I said, I'm not going to season the beef because I'm going to be making, this is also a crock pot recipe. I didn't tell you that at the beginning. I'm going to be making my meat sauce in a crock pot, and I'm going to be seasoning it really well, the sauce. So I don't want to season the meat because I'm going to cook this in a crock pot for a few hours, and the meat will absorb all that seasoning. So we're going to turn that down a little bit more. I'm going to put a lid on that. Okay, I'm going to move you over here and set you up. We're going to start the meat sauce. I've got about I think it's about a 5-quart. Maybe over here. Ooh, good to see Chicky. I have about a 5-quart crock pot. I think it's about 5 quarts. This is the one I showed you. I think I showed you in one of my videos. I bought this at Salvation Army for like $5. Let me get you the camera set up right. It's a little crooked. Patient with me, guys. Okay, so I've already turned the crock pot on high. We want it to start getting heated up. we're going to start our meat sauce in here, which we're going to start the sauce part. So what I'm using is a can of diced tomatoes. Now these are unsalted just because I got them from my mom and she doesn't eat salt. So we are going to add some salt to it. So add salt to taste. You know, that's something that you guys got to decide. You're gonna use Italian seasoning. So I'm gonna show you everything you need. You're gonna use Italian seasoning, parsley flakes, and some garlic powder. Now if you want to use fresh garlic, that's fine. I don't keep fresh garlic on hand. And then some salt. I use Himalayan pink salt in a grinder. This is less sodium than regular salt, and you can get that at Aldi for a couple bucks. And then I'm also going to use some pepper. I only use McCormick. I am brand loyal on some things, and McCormick is one of them. I hope you can hear me over my air conditioner. And McCormick is one of those because I just think McCormick pepper is so much better. And then I've got my little measuring stuff out. So I'm just using, for the tomato sauce, you're also going to need tomato sauce. I'm just using cans of regular tomato sauce. You can use, if you want to, shorten the recipe and use a tomato, spaghetti sauce that's already seasoned because you want to save time, go for it. I like what I call doctoring mine up with all the seasoning. So I'm going to put one can, it's a 15-ounce can of petite diced tomatoes in my crock pot. Okay. And then I'm going to open this. We're actually going to use 2 cans of these small tomato sauce. My mom had one already open, so I'm going to use that. It's in plastic, but it's the same thing. And waste not, want not. Get all of that out of there. And then back here I'm opening up that small can of tomato sauce. Now it just depends on how saucy you want it. I like my spaghetti or my Zoodles really saucy. So that's why I'm using 2 small cans and tomatoes. I want a lot of sauce. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our Italian seasoning, and I am going to put in a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. So this is just some basic Italian seasoning. I'm going to put a teaspoon of that in there. And I'm going to take my parsley flakes. I like parsley flakes. Parsley flakes are very healthy, very good for you. So I'm going to use a tablespoon, put a tablespoon of those in there. I actually read one time that they've proven that cancer cannot grow in parsley, so I don't know why we're not doing more with that medically, but I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. And then, of course, garlic powder. And for the garlic powder, I'm also going to put in a tablespoon. Now, like I said, you can adjust this to the amount you're cooking. I'm sure we've all cooked enough to know to adjust. I'm going to actually put about 3/4 of a tablespoon in there. I like garlic. Okay, then take your salt, and since I don't have much salt... Alright guys, I'm sorry about that. That video cut off a little short. I'm using my new Canon camera, new to me, so I'm not as familiar with how long it films, and I've got a really little SD card that I need to buy a new one. So I'll get better at these videos, I promise. But what you saw me last do was put in the garlic, and then after that what I did was I just put in some of my salt to taste, and so put in how much you want. I didn't measure it, and then some pepper, and that's to your liking, to your taste. And then I just stirred it up to make sure all that parsley and everything and Italian seasoning got really good in there. And what's always good is just to take a little spoon and kind of see if you've got it flavored good. And of course the flavors will come out more as it cooks. But we'll just take a little taste. Tastes good. I like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my meat. It is done cooking. We still, remember, have our crock pot on high. And we're going to put our meat in the sauce. Get all those onions out of there. You want that flavor. Okay. That's nice and hot. We're going to Stir that up in there. Now, if you like your sauce a little thicker, you can always add some tomato paste to it. I think this is going to thicken up quite nicely. And then that's it for the meat sauce. We're going to leave it cooking on high. It's going to start boiling. And we're going to leave it on high for a couple hours. So when I come back, I will probably be on my phone. And I will show you how to make zoodles. And how we're going to finish off this lovely zoodles with meat sauce, low carb, diabetic friendly recipe. See you guys in a bit. Alright guys, I'm back. It has been over 2 hours, a little over 2 hours, and our meat sauce has been cooking. It smells delicious. Okay, now what I'm going to do, look at that. Doesn't that look good? Oh, yummy. Wish it was smell-o-vision, you guys could smell it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some Parmesan cheese. And I'm going to put about a tablespoon of Parmesan cheese in it to sort of thicken this up. Just make the sauce taste even better. There we go. Stir that in there. Yummy Parmesan cheese. Okay, while that is still cooking and kind of taking in that Parmesan cheese, we are going to make our zoodles. So, I'm going to put you on pause and come right back, and I'm going to show you how to make some zoodles. Zoodle noodles. Okay, we are back. This is my zoodle machine. You can get these anywhere. I think I picked mine up at Walmart. They're called a spiralizer. So what you have is you have these blades that you put in here, and this is for thick spiral, and then you have down here thin and ribbon. I like thick, so I'm going to be using thick. So we're going to take our zucchini first. I washed this really good, and I like leaving the skin on mine, so we're just going to cut the ends off of it. Like that. This is raw, of course. We haven't cooked this yet. And this is going to be kind of tricky, guys, because I got limited counter space. So what you do, I'm going to put the big end. You have like a little thing over here, see? But you're going to stick the end in. I think I'm going to put the small end that way. This is a really long, see, they're coming out. Long one. I think I might have to. I'm going to put you down here so you can see the spirals coming out. And you can get these electric ones. I just bought this one because it's easier. I did have one you turn with, you didn't have the handle on it, and it was kind of hard to do. But that was back when my shoulder was really bad. So it's going to make some thick spirals, and you just keep going. And what you're going to end up with is like the center core of that. Just put them on out there. So you've got, they're like noodles. I like them thick. Alright guys, we have zoodled and zoodled till we can zoodle no more. Look at that big pile of zoodles we have. Zucchini noodles. That was just from one zucchini. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our zoodles and we're going to put them in our crock pot. Remember, our crock pot is still cooking on high, so it is boiling. It has been boiling that meat sauce for over 2 hours. Now, zucchini is a high water vegetable, so you will get a little bit of water cooked out of this, but it's fine. Hopefully to soak up in that sauce. And we're going to try, these don't take, you can cook these before you put them with the sauce. If you want to have them already cooked, you can put them in the microwave for about 5-7 minutes and it'll steam them. You can also boil these, but they do take on a lot of water. What I'm going to do is put them in the meat sauce. I'll put you up here so you can see what I'm doing. Look at all that. Yummy! Can you say yummy? Yummy! It's like I'm cooking with a little kid. I used to like doing that with my niece and nephew. Then, of course, just get that all soaked down in there. Oh, that smells so good. That's going to cook down, of course, because like I said, zucchini is a high content water, but you can also make zoodles out of yellow squash, but if you do that, you will have, yellow squash has a higher water content. So, we are going to leave that in there for about 10 minutes, and when we come back, we will be plating up some gorgeous, delicious zoodles with meat sauce. Yummy, right? Alright, we'll be back. Okay, guys, I am back. I have let this cook about 15 minutes. Now, I like my zoodles a little crunchy. So if you want them a little more done, it just depends on, like, do you like al dente noodles, regular noodles, or do you like your noodles a little mushy? I like my zoodles a little crunchy. So if you want them not crunchy, of course, let this cook for about, I'd say 30-35 minutes, because these are pretty crunchy. But it is done. It is delicious looking. Put you up here. And we are going to dip us up some of this deliciousness. Look at that. Yummy zoodles are so long. Look at that. I'm going to get another spoon. Get some of that meat sauce on there. Oh, yummy. Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. Then we are going to top that with a little bit of grated Parmesan cheese. And, as my favorite chef, Julia Child, would say, bon appetit. Thanks for joining me, guys. Hope you like this recipe in this video. Give me a thumbs up. Bye.